Hello friends, I'm Paul Shin from the YouTube channel Making Model A's Cool Again. Today we're working on a 1930 Ford Model A pickup truck. It has a minor boo-boo right about here. Today I'm carrying hand tools because we're going to have to get this distributor off of this Model A motor. Now the owner of this truck, and it has sentimental value, had a little trouble with it. It wasn't running quite right. And he brought it here, we worked on it, got it running again. It ran for a couple months, and then it stopped running right again. So we're gonna make it run right, but I think the problem lies in here. We gotta get this distributor out. The owner tried to get the distributor out on his own. He used one of those fancy distributor pullers, which basically just pulled the shaft out and sheared the pin underneath. I am going to use actual hand tools and remove said distributor. And then we've got a rebuilt one we're gonna swap in here and make this truck run again. So to remove a distributor, the first thing you want to do is pull that screw with the 9/16 nut all the way out. Now Mike has sprayed some juice in there to try and get this to loosen up over the last couple days. So I'm going to manipulate it very slightly here. So what you want to do is take a pry bar, get it under, and don't forget, when you're prying up on the distributor, you're prying down on the head. And what's below that? Water jacket. That is not very thick, so you don't want to go crazy here. You just want to put a little bit of upward force, and we're just going to give this some taps. You just want to break that rust connection between the head and the distributor body. I don't know if you can hear me while I'm doing that, but so the Tonya Harding you want is the one that's pretty good size, and you don't want to give it big wraps. If you hammer on it too hard, this is what happens. Big Tonya Harding, little tiny wraps. We're going to move over, going to wedge under here. Just keep going. Patiently do this over and over and over and over, and you'll eventually get it. Under it? Yeah. All right.
Eventually.
It's coming.
I can feel it.
Yep, it's coming. Ooh, almost. There it goes. All right. That is how to get a stuck distributor out of a Model A engine. Yep, he sheared the pin. So those pullers that they mount on the engine here, and then they pull on the shaft, and all they do is shear that pin right there. Most of them are made out of brass. Those aren't any good. This is the way to get a stuck distributor out. Okay, now that's out of the way. I can clean all this up, get all this crud out of here. Drop a short shaft in there, put a new distributor in, time it, get this thing going. So I went ahead and checked all the torque on the nuts, on the head nuts here, because Mike had taken a couple loose to put the puller on. I don't really like doing that. The problem is you end up getting head gasket leaks after you take a couple bolts loose like that. I don't know, I just don't like doing that. Once the head's torqued, I leave it torqued unless it's an absolute emergency. So we're gonna cross our fingers on this one and just do the right thing and pretend we didn't see that. Okay, first things first, lower shaft in, screwdriver, rotate until it drops into place. And there it goes, locked in. Okay, next. Freshly rebuilt distributor with stock points. Thank you very much. Good enough. Drop this in, whoops, get that out of the way. All right, feels like it's in. We're gonna find out in a second. Okay, now you need this little doodad to lock the distributor in place. Okay, so I'm gonna thread that in. I'm gonna wiggle the distributor and see how I can get a little bit more of a turn on it after wiggling the distributor. Now you know that thing is fully seated. Now we'll tighten the 9/16 nut down. Locked. That ain't going anywhere. I've got the engine set to top dead center. Now I'm going to put the plugs in, tighten the plugs up, time it, start it. I'm hurrying.
I gotta go sit down and rest.
Okay, do that.
You're making me tired.
Jeez.
My legs are...
Okay, number one plug back in. Handyman secret weapon, adjustable wrench. Always fits. Torque that. I loosened the spark plugs so that I could turn the motor over easier when I was timing it. So I just gotta put them back on. You've already seen me talk about how to time a Ford Model A. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link to it right there. Go watch that video and then you'll understand a little bit more about what I'm doing right now. So first thing I'm gonna do is get this cover on. I've hooked up the linkage. It's hitting one side or the other. There we go. All right, the cap is on. I'm gonna take my Nurex timing tool. Just give a basic timing setting right here. Now I'm going to visually double check this with my eyes and make sure that the points just start to open when I move the wrench. Yep, there's closed, open right there. Yep, perfect. Tighten it down. Locked. Done. Yeah, I can get that off of there. All right, reconnect everything. Put a rotor in it. Put the fuse in it. See if it runs. Rotor. Top. Done. Done. Oh, I got to tighten up that nut right there on the head where the cable was. That's going to be a mess if I don't. Put the ignition cable clamp under that. Then head nut back on. Then I will add some torque to this. All right, go ahead, see if it cranks, see if it fires. Pull the spark down. Sounds decent. Done. Send her home. All right, with that, another successful Model A repair completed. We've got another question and answer coming up pretty soon. You ready for that? You up for it?
We'll
Robert Gimron is going to answer your Model A questions, but meanwhile, if you don't want to wait for the video, you can have him answer your questions right now by emailing modelatechquestions@gmail.com. You're on there along with Rick Black and Ed Tolman and Chet Wisiek is on there. I'm on there.
Yeah, Paul Shen is on there.
Is on there. That guy, man, he's something else.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, so you can have your Model A Tech questions answered one-on-one basis. modelatechquestions@gmail.com. Thank you for so much for watching. I hope this helps you, and I'll catch you on the next video.
Good.